And we'll begin with a patriotic exercise. Do we have Lucas Crespo from BIS here? Lead us? Yeah, please have a seat and maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and anything you want to share about your school.
Hi, my name is Lucas Crespo. I'm an 8th grader at BIS. I play the trumpet and I'm a prosecutor. We're going to stand. Right hand over your heart. It's the flag. Ready? Here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lucas. Thank you. Would you like a picture with the board president outgoing?
One, two, three. We take one more. 1, 2, 3. And now look over here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Thank
Perfect,
you.
thank you.
Nice to meet you. All right, item 3 is roll call, and we'll call the roll of our start with the 2 existing members, 3 soon to be sworn in members follow. So trustee DeWitt here, trustee Brown here, trustee PJ
Here.
trustee Nicole Mustafa,
Here.
trustee Chaitanya Biscuiti. Excellent, we're all here. Item 4 is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I will second. All those in favor? I'm sure how math works on that, but that's 5-0 or 2-0, but passes. And item 5 is public statements related to agenda items. Do you have any public statements?
There were none, right?
I know there was one by email that's attached to the agenda, correct? Or a non.
Correct.
All right, item 6, oath of officers. Organization of the board, we'll start with you. So, we'll start with trustee, or seems to be trustee KJ.
All right, will you please come forward? Okay. All right, I want to explain to leave it to you. I'm gonna read a line and then you're gonna read a line. Ready? I'm ready. I do solemnly swear that
I, Katie J, do solemnly swear that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion, and
or purpose of evasion, and
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, trustee Jay.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. One, two, three. Thank you.
So I'll be a break afterwards for non-family families, also take the chair on black.
All right.
I do solemnly swear that
I, Nicole Linscott, do solemnly swear that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
so that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion, and
or purpose of evasion, and
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Oh, my. One, two, three. Take one more. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to take one with your phone? One, two, three. Perfect.
Solemnly swear that
I, Chaitanya Viswadeva, do solemnly swear that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion, and
or purpose of evasion, and
I will well and faithfully I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations. On the Steve Boyd and Steve Brown, we're gonna take one with all 5. Okay. Please hold on back. We'll take all 5. Winter coast layers.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna, couple minutes so that you can all take it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
All right, we will move on to item 6B, which is the election of officers. So this is where we will organize ourselves for the coming year. And the tradition, and past practice is to rotate president, and rotate seats as well. And I think I was gonna propose, and we thought about seating the three new trustees kind of in order that you filed with the election office, so that would be Katie as the clerk, so. I guess this is for discussion, I'll lay out my thoughts and then we'll talk about it. So Dan would rotate to president for practice. I would go to vice president as the longest serving man of the board. And then the proxy for longest serving is who filed first, so then we would go Katie, Chaitanya, and then Nicole. That's what we thought was most consistent with what we've done in the past, but I don't think our bylaws require, or I don't think there's anything in our policy that requires we do that, but it's for this role in the past. We'll offer that for discussion.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Happy to hear from others.
I guess just the question would be then next year, everyone would just continue to rotate.
That's the practice, is we all rotate one to the right, so there'd be a swap that's picking in there, and then we'd move one to the right. I would eventually get to sit. Not necessarily, but that looks like it might be several years in the future. So.
We're gonna grab one additional one would be, the appointment of the superintendent.
Yes, thank you. And I think that one is in our policy, which is that the superintendent is secretary of the board, which obviously also facilitates meetings, minutes.
Can you go over your qualifications?
I'm really happy to.
So is everyone okay with that, Rich? Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Well, in that case, I will move that Dan DeVoy be nominated for president. Ready for motion? Yeah. I'll make the motion. Dan DeVoy be nominated for president of the Burlingame Board of Trustees for the next year that's coming. I would move that myself to be the vice president for the coming year. I would move Katie J to be the clerk, which is number 3 position for the coming year. Chaitanya Musquite, is that right? Yes, good. As in the 4th seat, and Nicole Mustafa in the 5th seat for the coming year. And Superintendent Silversmith as secretary of the board. Is there a second? All right, I saw Katie first, so Katie the second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Motion passes 5-0.
We're gonna go ahead and rearrange you now.
And Madam Clerk.
Right, so we will move on to item 6C, the board meeting schedule for the next year. It says 2025 to 2026, but it doesn't. Has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda? What's on the states? And like getting married, speak now, forever hold your peace. But any thoughts on the proposed board meeting schedule?
Right, I have a question about, like, if something were to come up, like, what's the procedure around changing the dates, like, in 2026 or something like that?
So for 2026?
Yeah, I guess.
So for 2026, we could probably have an open conversation to figure out if we can. But if it's something like something comes up last minute, you're sick or something of that nature, let the board president, superintendent know.
If there's some often we've had to travel, we have had board members appear by Zoom. You've probably seen those at previous meetings. But I think we can only do one or possibly two people at a time. So you have to be careful about that. And then there's a whole prerequisite about what you have to post where the location you are. But as far as if you know there's a date in 2026 that will work for you, we can discuss that now and see what you don't.
No, I don't.
But if something comes up, yeah, just let the board president and superintendent know, we'll wait till we have a forum moving forward. Anything to add to that?
No, ideally, we just like it there, but we need to know far in advance because we do have to post the address of where you will be. On our board agenda prior to posting, you have to be in a public area because you also have to be able to post. For instance, if you're at a hotel in a window or something where someone could access and come to your public meeting too. So there are rules that we would have to go around.
All right, any other further comments on the board meeting schedule as drafted agenda? With no further comments, would anyone like to move to approve the board meeting schedule for 2025-2026?
I'll move to approve.
And thank you, Tanya. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A full second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, the motion passes 5-0. All right, next, we have to talk about appointments to committees, confirm what we've talked about. It's another opportunity to kind of speak now, make changes. You're expected to attend the off-committee meetings. If you can't attend a meeting for some reason you want to contact me, alternate for that meeting. Also let Marla know that you can't make that meeting. So what we have so far, there's one actually we don't have scheduled, and then we need to schedule alternates. So just to review, it's not official yet, so if something's wrong, please let me know. Titania will be on the safety committee, and then he and I will be with the city liaison committee. Katie's on BOC, the owners, and the Burns. Doug is on owners and Burns. Nicole's on DLAC, PTA, ECE. And I'm on the city liaison with Titania and also DAC. And there is one outstanding that I take care of. Kirsten, can you remind me?
That would be the district representative for the county committee on school district with the county office of that.
Okay, could either you or Marla summarize that position? I believe it meets 2 times a year, approximately, could be more, with county officials, county school board members to discuss various issues. Is that correct?
About reorganization, yes, and they didn't, yes, 2 times a year approximately.
Is the meeting, you know, in person or in the evening or just whenever members?
Zoom.
On Zoom.
But I'm not sure if I'm in day.
Okay. Okay. Is anyone, I'll put it out there first, is anyone interested in serving on that committee? Some of you already have several committees, so.
I'm certainly happy to take it.
Doug, okay, so Doug will serve on that. Thank you, Doug. And then we need to go over alternates for all of these. So I'm just going to go from the top of the list I have. The BCE committee, Nicole is the primary member. Is there someone who would like to serve as an alternate to that committee?
I can do that.
Let me think, Tanya. All right, bond oversight is currently Katie. Is there someone who would like to serve as an alternate on that committee?
Yeah, been down.
Doug continues, yes, so we're gonna read on slack there. Let's see. DSD, city district. Tanya and I don't, do we need an alternate for that? No, no alternate needed. All right, DAC, I am the board member, would someone like to be an alternate for that one? That's the district advisory committee.
I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Nicole is on DLAC. I can be the alternate for that one. Maybe 4. So Dan DeBoy will be alternate for DLAC, Nicole primary. The Burns Award, we don't need an alternate for that. Jedi is rotating. Owners are Katie and Doug. I don't believe we need an alternate, no alternate for that. And then PTA council is Nicole. Is there someone who can serve as an alternate for that?
That is the 3rd Tuesday during the day at night.
Yeah, the time is tough, but I'm okay to be listed as an alternate. I think it's an option, right? So, yeah, I won't necessarily be able to make it. anytime, but sometimes I would be able to, so I'll maybe be an alternate, and see who else wants it.
I'll let you.
Okay.
It's fine.
So is that Doug? Or are you good, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last alternate, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Christopher Marlowe, will be for the safety committee. Tanya is currently the primary member. I can be the alternate for that as well. Unless someone else wants. You want to be, okay, so actually Nicole will be the alternate for safety. All right. Did I miss anything or did we get them all?
Did you be the rep for us, alternate for the district rep for county? After Doug, I don't have one's back, we would, an alternate for the district rep for the county committee for the school district.
The one Doug just stepped up to do,
Correct, for the two meetings.
the one that's to me, I'll be the alternate for that.
Okay,
Since
okay.
Nicole just took my alternate safety, so
Thank
I'll do
you.
this one. All right, are we set with committees then and alternates? Okay. Great, thank you everyone for doing that. Any questions about committees, feel free to contact me, contact Marla. Marla will know always know more than I do, but you can be intimidated, so. contact me.
And do we need a motion for that one?
Yes,
Do we?
it's about.
Yep, we do. I think we do that. All right, so as stated, do I need to restate these? Everyone knows them.
I'll move to read the slate that you just.
Slate, very good.
Yeah.
All right, Doug moves, Katie seconds. All those in favor? Aye, the motion passes 5-0. Thank you for correcting me. All right, item 7, the union statement from the Burlingame Education Association. The union statement tonight? No, all right. Is there item 8, union statement from the California Full Employees Association, CSEA, is there a union statement tonight? All right. Item 9, statement of the principals, Greg Grant, BIS.
Apologize for my coughing. Didn't mean it, but I'm not doing so well. He said so. Principal Jaramillo really said most of it last week. But you know, I do want to say a few things for the principal statement. First, a welcome to our new board members. Congratulations, welcome aboard to BSD. You know, and just in that light, I did want to talk about our new principals too. We're a group of new principals. Most of us are new. In fact, only one has tenure more than just 2 years. So, but all of them are so get in there, get started. I really wanted to make a statement about the principals because they've done so much. Being new, they've really dived in. They're really enthusiastic. They're a great group to work with, and I just wanted to sing their praises tonight. I know they're not here, but again, with this new beginnings, this is another example of great new beginnings. So welcome aboard. So a couple of things that did come up. Lots of spirit weeks going on. All the schools seem to have something in the spirit week happening. A lot of doors are being decorated for the season. That's going on. I know even at BIS we have a winter theme. I have to tell you, I already been judging, and the best one is what is it? Something with the home. What is it with the homies? It's the gnomies instead. It's hanging with the gnomies. And then there's 3 gnomes, and it has a principal and the vice principal's picture. You gotta get to check it out, Zach. Get a picture of you on one of the doors. Anyway, some other things that were going on at Washington, Principal Jaramillo got to hang with a bunch of birds, Happy Birds Assembly. You should see the picture that we have with our principal chat. It's kind of funny. She was unphotogenic, but she's great with like all these birds hanging around her. Winter concerts are still going on. We still have Hoovers coming up. I think we have one coming up as well to finish off our 3 concerts. At Hoover, we have the Sanchez Adobe today for 4th grade field trip. 3rd grade at Roosevelt went to Stanford's women's basketball game. They had a great time. 5th grade came back from McKinley from outdoor ed. They're exhausted, but happy to be back. On that note, McKinley's principal just got her citizenship. Senora Hernandez. So anyway, congratulations to her. So BIS
We are very much having the same thing. We just had our PTA/staff recognition at our staff meeting today. It was really nice. We played some games just to kind of lift our spirits. It was kind of needed today, and it was really good that we had some high points today, so. That's it for me. It's we'll see.
Thank you, Mr. Lamb. Moving on to item 10, statement of the superintendent, Dr. Marlo Smith.
All right, just two quick updates. We are very much looking forward to our second Supporting Inclusive Practices Academy this Thursday. We are honored to be hosted at San Mateo County Office of Education, where we will be joined by San Mateo County Office of Education Superintendent Nancy McGee, along with the San Mateo SELPA. San Mateo SELPA also joined us last time on our day one of Supporting Inclusive Practices, where they were a big part of our district lead and also bounced around between 7 schools. We're very excited. All 7 schools are bringing robust teams this time, so that'll be fun. Last time we had 54 people, and I think Ms. Lindstrom, I believe, were well over 60, I think I heard this time. So it's pretty exciting to be the first district in the state of California to have all 7 schools go through it, including a full district office team, the county office, and the SOPA. So that's very exciting. Even more proud this moment, Burlingame School District should be extremely proud. In the spring of 2018, we came together with a group of many different educational partners, teachers, paraeducators, parents, students, a multitude of researchers from different educational partnerships, that we came up with the first dyslexia action plans at that time. Since then, we have had many different partnerships through UCSF, Stanford, Cal, and today Tony Thurman released his 4 approved dyslexia screeners and reading difficulty screeners from the state of California. And Burlingame and this board of trustees, our previous board of trustees actually, have already adopted 3 to be approved throughout Burlingame School District. So that's just a lot about the current work we're doing, the research we're doing, and kind of being at the forefront. So it's something we should be extremely proud of as a community and a district. The 4th one, we've done a lot of work with UCSF, but one is through Stanford called ROAR, and we just adopted it recently and approved a contract. One is through Amira, which we've approved a contract with, and the 3rd one is Dibbles, which we've been doing for 13 years. So a lot of pride in this district, because in Burlingame, first we find kids to see where there are reading difficulties, and then we teach them to read. So huge kudos to this community for being advocates and believers and really coming together to ensure students are being found, and then making sure that they have the supports and the curriculum to read. As you remember, when we were here last Tuesday night, we had a huge group of paraeducators and teachers and response intervention and instruction specialists and special ed teachers all together learning about curriculum. And I can't have enough pride in this district to really talk about the most students we touched for reading. So again, I just want to say thank you to all of you for believing in us when we came together and say, look at this research or look at this design plan that we have, and just really supporting it all this reading and really. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Silverman. Item 11, the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a way to consolidate many items considered by the board to be routine business. These items often require approval, but do not need discussion. All trustees have reviewed the items in advance of the board meeting. Members of the board, staff, or public are able to request specific items to be discussed and removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. The superintendent and staff recommend approval of all consent items. Movement of any suggested consent items is appropriate at this time. Would any of the trustees like to remove anything out of the consent agenda for further discussion? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So
Thank you, Katie. Doug seconds. Can I have a vote, please? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, I vote aye as well. The motion for consent agenda passes 5-0. We will move on to item 12, education, EIS band trip to Southern California.
Thank you. I'm gonna call up Ms. Madonna. So we have a new field trip to propose for that I'll have Ms. Connie, who's super busy with all our winter concerts, but has made the time to come here and speak about this very exciting field trip that my own children went on when they were at Boston, and I'm a big proponent of. That she'll be taking large portion of her class and grade and to Disneyland to, well, I'll let you speak on it. Because you can do a much better job than I do, for sure.
That's okay, you're doing great.
You're very supportive, thank you. You're really playing.
Yes, as Mr. Cavallo said, I would love to bring our concert band and some fun band kiddos to tour as musicians to Southern California. I think it's important to get our kiddos out of our comfortable environment of Burlingame and have them perform in the outside community. The trip that we have planned so far has a lot of cool educational opportunities. It's a 4-day trip with 3 nights. On day 1, we travel down and then we go to a college campus. We go to CSU Fullerton and we work there with their collegiate music professors on how to improve their playing. So they get to visit a college campus, they get to see what music students do as a major in college. And they get to work with a university professor. The next day, they are going to be competing against students from LA, from that region, in a local music festival. The following day is the one that the students seem most excited for, is our soundtrack recording workshop, where we go to Disneyland, we go to the back lots, one of their hidden recording studios, and the kiddos get to play music that is appropriate for middle school, work with professional recording musicians. They get to put on those cool headphones to make the click tracks and line up Disney music with Disney background scenes. So I'm very excited about this trip. Yeah, we're planning on about 130 students. So far, 125 family students have paid their first payment and signed letters of commitment. It looks like we can cover all the students' costs already. So as written in the agenda, it is about 978 students for $978 per each student. But there are enough families that are able to support those who are not able to financially contribute the full amount, and we do have enough to cover that. So that's very exciting news for us. We also have 13 adult chaperones that will be coming, at least 10 parent chaperones. A lot of parents want to come chaperone. And the 3 staff chaperones so far are me, Dr. Kendall, and Dr. Williams. That's about it.
Right. Are there any questions from board members about this item?
I do have a question. This is just more of a logistics question. Is this independent study? Like, and just, I mean, we've had so many conversations about attendance and that kind of thing. So is this considered independent study? How does that all work?
No, I believe it's.
It's actually considered a part of the construction of regular school year.
Yeah.
They will, it's a filter, but they will actually have to make a work or test or anything like that, but it is considered attendance.
Okay.
Exactly.
And just for clarification, the reason why you saw one on consent, the BIS Performing Arts field trip, is that is one that has been, they've gone on it for years. That is a retreat. Ms. Tagami, this is actually kind of an innovative, very exciting brand new field trip. So because the board has never heard of this field trip before, we asked her to come here and present it to you and give a little bit more information. The other one's a repeat one. So next year, should you choose to go again, it would be something that might go on consent, because it would be something you have a little bit more understanding on.
I have a question, but just open it up for board members. Are there more questions?
I have a question. How does this one relate to the other one, just date wise? It looks like the other one is just the week before. Do students go on both of them, or do they go on one, or?
There's not much crossover. The students I'm bringing are 3 classes that I have. And a small group of 30 students going on the performing arts field trip are students that participate in the theater program outside of the school day. There is a little bit of overlap. There are some students, but it's like different departments, music versus theater.
Could you broadly discuss, in terms of chaperones and supervision, is there any training for the chaperones? And how do we supervise students during non-band times? And lastly, the accommodations where the students are sleeping, making sure they don't run out in the middle of the night, stuff like that.
So Shoko, before you do that, that's actually a good one for our CBO who does risk management too, because we actually have stuff in our insurance policy and in our board policy for overnight field trips. So.
Yeah, in our policy, we have a ratio for our chaperones, so there's usually one chaperone per 10 students. And the students are usually roomed together up to 4 per room. And then chaperones also, like they're in separate rooms and they're all assigned to students that they're responsible for.
And so dividing those up is up to the principal and all that.
Yeah, between Shoko and the chaperones and the boosters.
And then a formal list before they actually leave the site is given to the principal, to the district office. And approved as to who's assigned during the day versus the night and how that all equates. Is approved and then kept through your office, through the business services office.
Yeah, I'll get copies of all of the permission slips. The names of the chaperones. Make sure that they're all here.
Deputy Superintendent Skatina, is there something you wanted to add? I felt like you wanted to jump in on that one.
Well, since it's a school day, normal school rules apply, so since it's positive attendance and attendance counts, there's usually either an administrator or a designee who's sort of reporting back on any incidents that happen. I'm familiar with incidents happening on field trips at the high school level. I imagine that fewer incidents would happen at in the middle school level, but things can happen and we have supportive staff and it's responsive and all administrators and principal are on the call for anything that comes up.
That was one of the requirements for this field trip too, is because there are 130 students coming. Was one of the requirements is that a vice principal school. So as you heard, Mr. Dami said, Dr. Williams will be attending, so an assistant principal will be in attendance.
Sounds great. Are there any other questions about this item? All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve? Tanya moves to approve. Is there a second? Nicole seconds. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Congratulations so much. We want to see pictures.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, item 13A, DEA memorandum of understanding, MOU for longevity instruments.
Yeah, this is the MOU between the district and the our labor partner, the Growing Union Education Association. And it's an increase in the longevity increment from 2000 to 2073 to recognize our certificated teachers that are that have been in the district for a long time. The longevity step starts at the 12th step and it goes through the 20th. And the last time that we had modified this increment was back in 2015, from 1600 to 2000. So this recommendation is to modify it to go from 2000, flat 2000 to 2007.
That item's on the agenda. We've all had a chance to look it over. Are there any questions from board members on this specific item? All right, seeing no questions, would someone like to move to approve? Katie moves to approve. Is there a second? Tanya was a second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, the motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Marie. Okay, item 13B, resolution 2024-25-18, governing board authorized signatures.
This is a resolution that updates all the signatures that are authorized by the board. We're required to have this on file with the county, and it adds Mr. Bettina to the list of authorized signatures. So there's 4 of us, the superintendent, myself, Mr. Vale, and now Mrs.
Are there any questions about this item? All right, would someone like to move to approve?
To approve.
Thank you, Doug. Is there a second? 80 seconds. All those in favor?
I,
Aye, the motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Marie. All right, item 14, statement of board members. This is time where we just start on the 15th generally and move down. Take 2 to 3 minutes to summarize the activities you've been up to or any educational issues on your mind that you'd like to share with the public. Or just your acceptance speech.
I'm just truly honored to be here. Thank
Thrilled
you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
It's Tanya.
Yeah, I would like to echo that sentiment. I have, for people that don't know, I have 2 kids in Burlington School District, both in Franklin, one in kindergarten and one in 5th grade. And I've been very impressed with everything that goes on in the school district, and I'm very excited to become a part of it.
Thank you, Tanya. Katie.
yes, I want to say thank you to everyone. It's been a wonderful, warm welcome. I have twin boys at McKinley in 4th grade, loving every moment of it. Couple of things I wanted to say. I wanted to reiterate some of the comments made last time about Gigi and how appreciative I am personally for the community coming together and supporting Measure Gigi. And it was wonderful to see so many people from so many different schools and so many different places come together to make that happen. Last week, I was able to sit in on the California Reading and Literature Project Science of Spelling training that some of our upper grade, 3rd through 5th grade teachers were doing. And it is, I think it actually reminds me, Marla, of kind of what you were saying of some of the dyslexia things that we've been doing. It really feels like it builds on things that were already happening in Burlingame and sort of just like takes it to the next level. So it was wonderful to be able to be there, and everyone was really engaged. It was, those trainers are amazing. So that was wonderful. And then last night I got to attend the McKinley band and chorus concert right here. It was a little warmer than it is now. I will say that much. With 600 people in here instead of 20. But it was wonderful to see all of our 4th and 5th graders with their instrument and their chorus. It was great.
Great. Well, I just want to welcome the 3 of you. It's so nice to have you here, and we're excited about the year and the years ahead. So yeah, just want to say welcome.
I'll also say welcome. I think you already started off on the wrong foot though by putting me as president instead of Doug. He's much better. So I think there's probably a way to rectify that.
We're sitting awfully close to that.
You're getting closer. All right, well, that concludes board member statements. Item 14, we'll move on to item 15, public statements related to non-agenda items. I know we had 1 comment submitted by email. Everyone had an opportunity to review that. As a reminder to the board, if it's not on the agenda, we can't comment on it. So members of the public are free to send their thoughts to us. And then, are there any other?
No, there's not.
All right, we'll move on to item 16, board requested items. Are there any items board members would like to see placed at a future? I know that's an audit first meeting, several things and swing already. But this would generally be a time we could ask, build board consensus, majority to put an item to the agenda. Any items? Okay. We will move on to item 17, public comments related to closed session items. Are there any public comments related to closed session items?
No, there's not.
All right, and the time is 6:51, and we will recess to closed session.